basically how to make your own homemade baby food. And this is like ridiculously easy, you're gonna see. I've already made green beans, that was 2 weeks ago. This week I am making baby Olivia a little bit of yams or sweet potatoes. These are actually yams. If you want to make this for your baby at home, you can see how easy this is, and if you just want to eat it yourself, go for it. That's fine, totally cool. The first things first is I cleaned my yam. You want to make sure that it's as clean as possible. Then I'm here peeling all of that rough skin off so that your baby can digest it easier. So now that my yam is nice and naked, I'm gonna chop off the ends, just in case there is any of those rinds there. And I'm gonna chop my yam into small, even pieces. Okay, so now we have squares that are pretty much the same size. All right, next step, we wanna have a nice big pan of boiling water. So I have my water here boiling, and preferably a pan where you can stick a double boiler. So I have a double boiler that fits perfectly inside here. And this is how we're gonna steam our yams. If you don't have a double boiler, it's no problem. If you have a strainer of any sort, any one of these like tabletop strainers that fit perfectly inside your pan, you can also use that. You're just gonna put the vegetables right on top and they'll steam from the water inside. So it's not necessary that you have a double boiler, it's just convenient. So I'm gonna grab my double boiler now that my water is boiling, pop that right on inside. I'm gonna grab my yams and simply toss them in. And I'm steaming these just so that they can retain as much nutrients as possible. Put the cover on and let them steam. So it's been about 10 minutes of steaming. I'm just gonna check the yams with a fork to see where they are because we want as little time in this double boiler as possible. We want it to be really colorful and we want it to retain as many nutrients as possible. So this goes straight through. It's definitely ready. So next step is we're going to put these little chunks in our blender and we're going to start blending. So the blender I'm using is a Blendtec blender, but I really don't think it matters what type of blender you use. I'm pretty sure any blender is going to work just as well. So carefully grab your little chunks of yam that are going to be hot and throw them in your blender. Because we're making baby food, we want the yams to be easily digestible by our baby. So we need to make it pretty liquidy so they can digest it and swallow it easily. So we need to add some water to our yams. Now I'm not gonna grab water from the faucet. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this water that we use to steam it. As you can see, it has a little bit of a yellowish tinge to it. If you're making green beans, it'll be a greenish tinge. But for our yams, it has a yellowish tinge to it, which is basically all those nutrients that we lost from the yams in the water. So we're gonna use a little bit of this water, which already has our yam nutrients in it, and we're gonna add it back into the yams. Not a lot, just a little bit. Enough to make it liquidy. So I just add a little bit of water at a time until I get it to a perfect consistency. Once I add the water, I'm gonna press the sauces button on my blender, or you can use whatever button you prefer. So once it's done blending, I'm gonna check the consistency of it, and that actually looks really good. Check out that consistency, nice and smooth, all from a blender. This Blendtec is really good, but like I said, I'm pretty sure that any other blender can probably give you similar results. All right, so then once it's done, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pour it into a glass container. I'm really not sure why they would make a blender with a plastic container, but whatever, I gotta use what I gotta use. So I'm gonna pour it into a glass container to get it to cool down. And I use glass so that I avoid plastic leaching into my food, although, like I said, the blender is plastic. Oh well. That's the only bad thing about the Blendtec blender is that it is made of plastic. So now we have all of our smooth yam goodness in our glass bowl, and we're gonna let that cool down. Now that our yams are nice and cool, I'm gonna grab just some simple ice cube containers. I'm just gonna use 2. It'll probably only fill 1, but I have 2 just in case. And this is how I'm going to freeze the baby food, because clearly baby Olivia is not gonna eat all this in one sitting, so we have to have a way to preserve it. So I'm gonna just grab a spoonful, and this is how I'm gonna begin filling my little trays. And this does take a little bit with a spoon, but it ensures that you have nice even cubes. I tried pouring it in and it got all over the place. Wasn't a good time. Unless of course you have a glass container with a spout. I don't. So we filled up with that 1 yam, 1 entire ice tray, and 3 little cubes of the other ice tray. So once they're all nice and wrapped, just toss them in the freezer to freeze. I left a little bit in this container for Olivia for tonight, so we're gonna see if she likes it. We have a little bit of yams and rice cereal in that bowl. Her first time eating yams. Oh, you like it? You like it? Yeah, the big smile. Oh. I see that is success. I hope you guys give it a try and I hope it helps. I'll see you guys next time.
You're just like your mom. You make so much noise when you eat.
Rude.